Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Calvin coming at you with Calvin's movie reviews. And today I'm going to be giving you my honest opinion of Star Wars The Force Awakens. So without further ado, let's get right on into taking a bite out of this giant turd sandwich. What Disney did with the Star Wars franchise is absolutely unforgivable. It is an abomination, the worst nightmare of any fan of any franchise coming true. First off, I just want to start off by saying it's supposed to be 30 years after Return of the Jedi. Where is the Grand Army of the Republic? Where is the Jedi Order? Yes, I get we have that Kylo Ren destroyed Luke Skywalker's new Jedi Order somehow. Okay, the Knights of Ren. It's just all stupid. It's bullcrap. It's dumb. Whenever I heard that Disney bought Star Wars, I defended them. I defended them for years. I said, you got Pirates of the Caribbean. You have all these other Disney franchises that are multi-billion-dollar franchises. I defended Disney for years, and they absolutely took a crap on me and every other person that grew up with Star Wars, knowing that it's the greatest franchise of all time. Furthermore, 30 years after Return of the Jedi, I was expecting a massive Grand Army of the Republic, a reestablished Jedi Order, massive battles. We went from the Rebel Alliance defeating the Empire. Now we have the Imperial remnants, supposed to be dying Imperial Empire, and the Grand Army of the Republic building up, the rebels turning from rebels to the Grand Army of the Republic. But no, we have the First Order that is somehow the Empire, and the rebels turned into the Resistance, like the French Viva la Resistance of World War II. Like, are you kidding me? The entire Force Awakens is a cheap rehash of A New Hope with 2015 technology. That is one thing that I will say that I did kind of like about The Force Awakens is the CGI. I liked Kylo Ren's lightsaber. I liked the colors of the lightsaber. The cinematography, I guess, not bad, but just when it comes down to it, it is not what a Star Wars film should be. My next critique of Disney's Star Wars The Force Awakens is the comedy and the scenes and the dialogue that just take you out of the movie. It makes you feel that there's no real danger. Like I said, it just takes you out of the movie. Opening scene, Poe Dameron gets captured by the First Order. Specifically, Kylo Ren, he's on his knees right in front of Kylo. There's like a couple seconds of no dialogue, tension, and Poe says, so who talks first? How does this work? Do I talk first? Do you talk first? I can't tell because of the whole thing. And when I watched that for the first time 4 years ago, that was the first time that in that first viewing that I really got worried because Disney did a darn good job of hiding the turd sandwich that The Force Awakens is in the trailers. They didn't give away anything. All they showed was generic scenes, Rey and Finn running, explosions, Poe flying his X-Wing, etc. And that's honestly one of my biggest critiques and problems with Disney Star Wars as a whole is the scenes that just take you out of the movie, the dialogue that has been dumbed down, not aimed at adults, and yes, George Lucas always made Star Wars not for the 18 and only age group, but you can just watch. You can watch A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Episode 1, 2, and 3. They all have a vibe. They have a feel, a tone. The originals have their feel. The prequels have their feel. Yes, there's people that grew up with the originals that hate the prequels. Me, I was born in 93. I watched Episode 1 in theaters. I loved it. My mom showed me the originals like a year or so before that. And I love the prequels. I do. And obviously I love the originals. I know someone that was in a theater in 1977 watching the originals, loves the originals, massive Star Wars nerd, and hated the prequels just like a lot of people that were older than me that grew up with the originals, hated the prequels, watched The Force Awakens, and then specifically The Last Jedi, which I will be getting into that in another video. Literally watching the dumpster fires, that is episode 7 and 8, made him like the prequels. And he's not alone. You know, like I said, I always like the prequels. I have no problem. Yes, I understand Jar Jar Binks, kind of took some people out of the movie. Like me and thousands of other people have a problem with these movies, Disney Star Wars. Like I said, the originals have their feel, the prequels have their feel. These movies definitely have their feel, and it's crap. The next scene that takes you right out of the movie is whenever Finn is helping Poe escape. Grabs him, throws him into the corridor, and Poe says, "Why are you helping me?" And Finn says, "Because it's the right thing to do." And Poe says, "You need a pilot." And Finn says, "I need a pilot." Stupid, dumb, ignorant, sitting in a theater, just like, wow, okay, J.J. Abrams, you're failing. You're failing. And literally, the next scene, Finn is escorting Poe through the hangar to get to the tie to escape. And Finn is saying, "Stay calm, stay calm." And Poe says, "I am calm." And Finn says, "I'm talking to myself." Stupid, dumb, ignorant, just does not belong in a Star Wars movie, period. Another thing that just makes me wonder if J.J. Abrams and whoever else was writing this movie has actually ever seen a Star Wars movie is anyone with above average intellect of Star Wars at all will know that the TIE fighter is fast, but is like the World War II Japanese Zero made of wood that's very fast, but lights up like a Christmas tree. And the X-Wing fighter is also very fast, but does not light up exactly like a Christmas tree. The opening scene of The Force Awakens starts with stormtroopers shooting, I don't know, 3-4 times, hits Poe's X-Wing. And yeah, people that just refuse to say anything bad about the sequels will say, "Oh, well, they hit the engine, blah, blah, blah." Yeah, well, I've seen TIE fighters hit an X-Wing and it doesn't blow up as soon as stormtroopers' infantry guns shot the X-Wing and it blew up. But, that was just for the visual. So that's just another thing that is just this really takes a real Star Wars fan out of the movie. Just have they ever seen this before? So once again, as I've been saying, unfortunately, quite frequently in this review, whenever Finn and Rey meet up for the first time on Jakku in the Junkers junkyard, Rey knocks Finn down on the ground and asks him, "You're with the Resistance?" And he says, "Yes, yes, I am with the Resistance." Dumb, stupid, once again, just takes you out of the movie. And right after that, for some reason, unbeknownst to the viewers, the Millennium freaking Falcon is at that junkyard. And the First Order knew where Poe and Finn was going to crash with the computer and everything. And so they knew where they were. And so the First Order comes in with the ties and attacks and shoot. And so Rey and Finn are running to a spaceship to try to escape. And Finn says, "What about that one over there?" And you don't get to see what he's talking about. And Rey says, "No, that's a piece of junk," or something along those lines. And then they're running to the ship they're going to, and of course it gets blown up. And like a comedy, Rey goes, "The piece of junk." But, nothing against her. She's a great actor. It's just the crap that she was given. And then we see the piece of junk is actually the GOAT of all of spaceships, the Millennium freaking Falcon. And so for some reason, it's just unlocked because, the fastest, one of the most expensive, sought after ships in the entire Star Wars universe is just unlocked with the Star Wars keys in the cockpit. All they got to do is go up there, start it, and they fly away. So when Finn and Rey are on the miraculously unlocked Millennium Falcon and flying away from the junkyard on Jakku, trying to escape the First Order's TIE fighters, they're simultaneously saying, as Rey's piloting and Finn is on the gun turret, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Just really not something that you would see in the original Star Wars movies or the prequels. And the scene right after that, I can't remember the exact context of the scene, but Finn is in a hole, and I think Ray is trying to get BB-8 down into the hole, and Finn says like, "Oh, I got him," and BB-8 then proceeds to fall and crush Finn as he says, "Nope, don't got him." Like, wow, this movie should definitely win an Oscar for the best comedy. So then Han Solo and Chewbacca then proceed to enter the film, which is really, in my opinion, the only redeeming quality of the entire movie. Harrison Ford, he agreed to come back on the one stipulation of him being killed. And if you haven't seen this movie in the 4 years that it's been out, then that's just tough. But I do like every scene that Harrison Ford is in the film, and there are different factions of pirates or mercenaries trying to collect money or Han Solo's life, either or. And in that scene, there are some monsters that Rey accidentally releases that Han Solo has evidently worked very hard to capture. And just, I can remember watching this in the theater 4 years ago, and I know I've said this before that, this comment took me out of the movie, this dialogue took me out of the movie, and be that as it may be, this scene right here is whenever I had the revelation that Disney has absolutely no idea what they're doing. This is crap. This is not Star Wars. And then pretty soon I fell asleep. I actually fell asleep in this movie. But getting to the point, Rey asked Finn, "What do the monsters look like?" as they proceed to cut a corner or something. And then the monster appears, and Finn says, "Like that." Like, God, that is not Star Wars. That is dumb. Yes, I understand people talk crap about Jar Jar Binks. Yes, I understand having Jar Jar Binks in episode one gave it a different feel, a different vibe than the originals. I get that. But it is nothing, absolutely nothing compared to the forced comedy that Disney is putting in the majority of their new Star Wars movies, minus Rogue One, which I will make another video about Rogue One, how that is the one Star Wars movie that Disney has made, hiring competent writers that know how to make a Star Wars movie. So, one thing that I thought was odd was this movie is supposed to be 30 years after Return of the Jedi. And I already got into the fact that there is not a Grand Army of the Republic and a new Jedi Order is just absolutely ridiculous. But what I'm going to get into now is that Han Solo made a few comments a couple times in this movie. He obviously made it evident that he had never shot Chewbacca's Wookiee bowcaster. And I just find that odd that they had already been a team since the originals. This is 30 years after the originals, and he's making comments that is making it evident and obvious that he has never shot Chewbacca's main weapon. I just kind of find that odd. Speaking of Chewbacca, Maz Kanata, the freaky little orange alien lady person, made a comment, "Where is my boyfriend?" talking about Chewbacca. So that's definitely an odd couple, to say the least. But hey, this is Disney. I was 2015, baby, so it is what it is. So, one of the main complaints that I've heard over the years, and definitely one that I had myself and noticed the first time viewing this movie, the times that I was awake, is that it's pretty much just a complete rehash of episode four. Just J.J. Abrams and whoever else wrote this movie, and I'm pretty sure he had a little bit, if not most, of the writing himself, is he had the biggest universe ever created, the biggest fictional universe. And, J.J. Abrams is such this great writer, great director, that everyone just praises. And he made an exact copy almost to a T of A New Hope. It's just cheap. It's stupid. It's cheap. They had Disney, J.J. Abrams, Lucasfilm, Kathleen the Devil Kennedy had decades of extended universe books, comics, mainly books, just tons and tons and tons of things to go off of, without even mentioning George Lucas's outlines that he's had for 7, 8, and 9 for decades that I can only imagine, which evidently it's come out that episode 7, 8, or 9, I can't remember which one, is about midichlorians and a microscopic world of midichlorians. Somehow I have my doubts about that. What I wanted to see, and what millions of other people from around the world wanted to see, is Star Wars 2015 technology, Grand Army of the Republic, a new villain. I'm going to butcher this name. Yuzon Vong, I believe is how you say it. They are a alien race that is from beyond the outer rim, and they are somehow immune to the Force. You cannot use the Force against them. In the novels, in the books written in the 90s, early 2000s, I believe, maybe, the Yuzon Vong Wars, that is what people wanted to see. Armies, battles, the end of Attack of the Clones, spread out with movies, multiple movies, just wars, battles, thousands of Jedi, hundreds of thousands of Grand Army of the Republic troops versus hundreds of thousands of millions of Yuzon Vong Sith that had been hiding for thousands of years. Literally anything other than the First Order that we still don't even know exactly who the heck they are, where did they come from. All we know is that at the end of Return of the Jedi, the Empire, for the most part, is defeated. Now, if you watch Return of the Jedi, and you watch when the second Death Star blows up, there's 10 or so, I don't know, Star Destroyers retreating, escaping. That's real. That's canon, obviously. There are books, novels, comics of, it's called the Imperial Remnants, that struggled, that just clinged by the skin of their teeth to survive. And evidently, they weren't just able to get mopped over. I mean, they gave the rebels a little bit of a fight. We could have seen that. We could have seen something, just anything other than the crap that we were given. So another thing that I thought was odd, and no doubt tons of other people thought was odd, is that somehow Kylo Ren had the burnt, charred, deformed remains of Darth Vader's mask. Now, since I'm not a total hater, maybe Luke Skywalker took Kylo Ren to Yavin 4, to where Luke buried his father, Vader. And for some reason, Kylo Ren took the charred remains of Vader's mask. Now, it's obvious that Kylo Ren idolizes Vader, which I can understand. Kylo has fallen to the dark side. Vader was the chosen one, which he no doubt knows, and he's trying to live up to the standards of his grandfather, which was the chosen one and arguably the greatest Sith Lord of all time. So on to my next point. I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but it is what it is. Nothing against Daisy Ridley. She is a beautiful actress, a great actress, but she is a Mary Sue. Sorry, not sorry. It is what it is. She is a Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, can do no wrong, just God, just grabbed Luke Skywalker's old lightsaber that somehow Maz Kanata found from the Cloud City. No idea. Who knows? Only God knows. And from Rey grabbing Darth Vader's old lightsaber, Luke Skywalker's old lightsaber, somehow unlocked, I guess, Rey's hidden Force abilities and was able to Jedi mind trick James Bond, actually, is the real actor in the movie. Jedi mind tricked a stormtrooper just out of nowhere, just on a whim, because she is a Mary Sue that can do no wrong. So the next scene that just kind of was supposed to be forced comedy that was not funny at all is Kylo Ren was acting like the child that he is, which I don't know if they were trying to do that on purpose, which to try to give off a vibe that he's just really immature, just can't handle himself, because that's definitely what they got. That's what I got. And he was slashing the computer consoles in his ship because someone got away. I can't remember exactly who. He was mad. And there's two stormtroopers coming around a corner, and here Kylo Ren lashing out, if you will. And they just kind of, look at each other and turn around and walk away. If you just watch episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Rogue One, the only good movie Disney has done, that would not happen. That's garbage. That's dumb. That's stupid. I feel like I've said those words a lot the video review, but it is what it is, and a spade's a spade. People like me and thousands, millions of other people that were expecting a ribeye or a New York strip and was given a Taco Bell ground beef taco, we're just not going to put up with that. Unacceptable. So Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Finn break into the Starkiller base facility thing. I don't even know. I don't care. And then we find out that Finn was the janitor. That's fitting. And then Finn sees Phasma, Captain Phasma, who was made out to be this big villain, a big time screen spectacle, and turned out to have a whole 30 seconds of screen time. And they ambush her, and Finn says, "I'm in charge now, Phasma. I'm in charge. I'm in charge." And Han Solo says, hey, take it down. Take it down. I honestly think that was Harrison Ford in real life, just saying, hey, this is crap. We can't do this. So, as I've said plenty of times, the entire movie was just a direct copy, a direct rehash of A New Hope. On that note, just even the X-Wing fighters with Poe and his fellow squadron flying down into the Starkiller base area, facility, I don't even know, don't care, area that Finn, Rey, and Han Solo and Chewie are at. It's literally just they fly down into a trench, just a complete nostalgia grab into the Death Star trench from 1977. It's like a 3-second shot. And then right after that, they copy Return of the Jedi whenever Lando Calrissian and the little alien dude are in the Millennium Falcon, and he flies into the Death Star 2 and actually is in the Death Star and like shoots this, and then causes a chain reaction, which causes the Death Star 2 to explode. Exactly what Poe did in this movie. Which, I know a lot of people would say I'm just being a nitpicky, just unnecessary, unnecessary complaints. But like I said before, you were given the biggest fictional universe ever created, and you didn't have enough wisdom, enough smarts, intellect to make anything new. And anything you did make new was crap. So I do give credit where credit is due. Like I said, I am not a hater. And probably the best scene in the entire movie is the confrontation between Han Solo and his son, Ben Solo, Kylo Ren. You could really feel the emotion, the conflict, the anger, the sadness with Kylo Ren, knowing that he had one thing to do to really cross that line to be as evil as his grandfather was. killing younglings and decimating the Jedi and turning on his master, and that is killing his father. And you could just really feel the sadness and the emotion in that scene. That was a good scene, I will say. Fun fact: Harrison Ford wanted to die. He wanted Han Solo to be killed in Return of the Jedi, and obviously, anyone who is watching this probably knows that that obviously didn't happen. So his one stipulation, his one favor to do this movie was for him to die. Obviously that did happen. Sadly, I was shocked. Can't believe I was awake during that scene, but that was a good scene, and I'm glad that I was awake. And the scene following right after that, a lot of people have a problem, me myself included. We got Rey, Mary Sue, Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, Wonder Woman, Superwoman, can't miss a shot, can't do anything wrong, Miss Perfect, fighting a Sith Lord and beating him. Just a little far fetched. I do like the cinematography. I like the color. I like the sounds of the lightsabers clashing. I will say that. I do like the unique sound that they brought in. That's a little different than the old lightsabers clashing. Same sound, just a little different. I like that scene, but it's just a little off to have someone who literally didn't know that the Force and Jedi was real the day before to beating a Sith Lord less than 24 hours later. In conclusion, it's obvious that I did not really care for this movie. I fell asleep in it. I waited 10 years to see this movie in theaters. Didn't think I would ever see another live action Star Wars movie ever again. And I think that just really added to the disappointment when I found out that I was going to see another Star Wars movie again, and I defended Disney for literally 3 years, and then it just pooped on me. It is not what should have happened. The tone, the vibe, the dialogue, the writing, the directing, everything. It was just crap. It's complete and utter garbage. And with the sequel to this movie, The Last Jedi, they obviously did not really step it up any notches. So I do not have high hopes for episode 9, but I will be going to see episode 9, and I will make a movie review for that movie as well. So I really hope you liked the video. Please like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel. And thank you once again. And this is Calvin, and I'm going to be coming back at you to crap on more Disney Star Wars movies.